Hello and welcome to this week's Head Teacher broadcast. It's Friday, the 5th of March, and got quite a lot of detail to get through, so I appreciate your patience with me today. So, you'll know that the First Minister has now changed her mind and would like all students to experience some sort of school before the Easter holidays, and there is the expectation that every pupil in Banff Academy comes back to school experiences at least some sort of school every week, starting from the 15th of March, within the following parameters: that there needs to be 2 metre social distancing at all times in classrooms, corridors, and in social areas outside as well, except of course on the bus where it's only 1 metre social distancing that's required. So that is quite a considerable task. We have got a plan for that, and I'll come to that just very shortly. But I just want to be clear about what the expectations are for next week. And next week we'll still be following the 5 to 8% model, whereby we won't have any more than that in the school. So next week we'll still have the children of key workers and vulnerable children in the school in our support hubs, and the previous practical pupils that we had in previous weeks. But we're also now adding in on Monday National 5 Higher and Advanced Higher French, and on Tuesday we are looking to have National 5 Design and Manufacture students in as well. So that's next week. So starting on the 15th of March, we now have a plan to bring all students back at some point during that week, and that plan will last for 3.5 weeks up until the Easter holidays. So that's 14 school days. So starting on Monday, the 15th of March, we're looking to have all of S1 pupils in school only. So that's only S1 pupils in school, with of course the children of key workers, vulnerable children, and the pupils doing practical subjects that are previously already been coming into school. But the only other pupils coming in on that Monday at 8:50 will be S1 pupils, where they will attend their squad at 8:50 and will stay in squad until 11 o'clock. We're doing a variety of activities with the squad leader, which is a person that knows them really well, to allow youngsters to assimilate back into school again. Now, it may be that some squad rooms will have changed because we have to use larger rooms to accommodate the 2 metre social distancing diktat from the government. So details of exactly which room students need to report to will be put out in detail next week. So S1 students back in on the Monday, they'll go to squad session 1, and then at break time they will be asked to go outside and enjoy the fresh air. We're not expecting pupils to stay inside during break at lunchtime, unless of course it is really bad weather, for which we will then make alternative arrangements. We're looking at providing additional seating and tables for youngsters to sit at in our courtyard and other areas out with the school on the campus to make it a little bit easier. And these, of course, will have to be wiped down after they've been used at interval and then reused again at lunchtime. So that is what S1 pupils will be doing session 1. Then session 2, they will either go to PE and have a 100-minute session of PE, and then session 3, they will have a 100-minute session on health and well-being. Now, the session 2 and session 3 will fluctuate, so you might have the health and well-being lesson session 2 and PE session 3. But all S1 pupils will have PE when they come into school, as well as health and well-being, as well as squad. Okay. On a Tuesday, it's exactly the same model, but for S2 pupils only, so only S2 pupils in on a Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, it will only be S3 pupils. At lunchtime, pupils will be expected to go outside again, and they're free to leave the school campus and return back to school for session 3, unless again, of course, it's really bad weather, in which we'll have alternative arrangements for that. Now, if I could turn to the Thursday and Friday, Thursday and Friday is when we look at the senior phase. And on a Thursday, we'd be expecting all S4, 5, and 6 pupils to come into the school and attend their session 1 class from 8:50, not squad, but their session 1 timetable class on a Thursday from 8:50. Now, we've split the classes into smaller sizes. So, for example, if you have higher English session 1 on a Thursday, then there may well be 3 classes rather than 1, with 3 separate English teachers in order to maintain 2-metre social distancing. Again, more detail of that will come out next week. But students who come back into school and attend at 8:50 will then have their squad remotely from their session 1 class, and then start their session 1 class from 9:20. There'll then be break, again, similar to S1 to 3, they'll be asked to leave the building. And then session 2 will be their normal session 2 timetable class, and then it'll be lunchtime. And then session 3 will be a timetable class that you would normally have session 2 on a Tuesday. So whatever it is that you have on your timetable session 2 on a Tuesday, you will now have session 3 on a Thursday. Okay, that'll be just for the 3 weeks. And then on the Friday, again, we're expecting all S4, 5 and 6 pupils to come in. They'll attend their normal timetable class, session 1 on a Friday, a normal timetable class, session 2 on a Friday. And so what they will then do is we have arranged for the transport unit for buses to then take pupils home if they so wish at lunchtime. But these buses will then come back again and take away the S4 pupils who are in session 3 on a Friday for particularly maths to take them home. So there'll be 2 pickup points on a Friday afternoon. It's important that pupils try and maintain 2-metre social distancing at all times in classes and in corridors and even outside, except for when they're on the bus when it reduces down to 1 metre. We'll do our very best to make sure that we can support students with that, but really appreciate your help with it. In addition to that, all students from S1 to S6 are expected to wear face masks, both on the bus, in the corridors, in the classroom, and at all times, unless, of course, when they're eating. There's no requirement to wear a face mask whilst they're outside. In terms of testing kits, S4, 5 and S6 pupils are invited to take a home testing kit for which they need to consent to do so. That can be done from the contact details in a letter which we will put out very shortly. Any students who are under the age of 16 who are in S4 are also entitled to receive a home testing kit, but we would need their parental consent for that to happen. How to go about providing that consent and when to pick up those testing kits will come out in a letter next week. I also intend to, towards the end of next week, write to all parents to explain in more detail just exactly what I've done just now. And of course, if there's any further changes from the government next week, I'll be able to update you at next Friday's Head Teachers broadcast. We've had to move at speed with this to come up with a plan very quickly. I would have liked to have spent more time consulting colleagues and parents and pupils about how to do this, but unfortunately we've not had that time because we need to plan and then communicate what those details are to you as soon as possible so we can prepare for the 15th of March. These are 14 days of school, which are designed to allow youngsters to be able to reintegrate back into school and to help with their health and well-being. And that is our fundamental goal during this time, so we can then look forward to, after the Easter holidays, a full return to school. It looks like we are coming to the end of this pandemic, which is good, but I really do appreciate you bearing with us and trying to follow these guidelines as well as you possibly can between now and that point. Now, in terms of the squad challenges, I'm delighted that the book challenge this week went so well, and I would like to just say a public thank you to Mr. Henderson, our librarian, for every day providing some challenges for our squads in the context of literature and books and reading. That's really been really grateful and good of him to do that. So thank you very much. The task was to come up with your favourite books and why reading is good for you, and it was impossible for me to pick a winner. So for the first time in 43 head teacher challenges, we've actually got a draw this week of 2 squads who've put together excellent presentations, and you'll see those presentations online. They'll be posted up alongside this broadcast. So well done to squad Michelle Obama and squad Colonel Tom. Squad Colonel Tom, a multiple winner of the challenges. But the 2 of you will get your chocolate next week. 2 squad responses. Outstanding. In terms of the challenge for next week, this is one that I don't know the answer to, and it's going to need squads to undertake a little bit of research. What I'm asking squads to try and find out is, who do you think is the most successful person that's come from Banff? So a little bit of local research. It could be historical, it could be present. Who is it that you think has been the most successful person that has lived or come from Banff? So you'd need to work out, well, what does success mean? And do a little bit of research on that, and then find out if there's somebody from Banff that fits that criteria. So looking for answers to who that is, why they were so successful, who they were, and if you let me know, and then we'll try and pick some sort of winner for next week. So a little bit of normality there in amongst all of this craziness. But in the meantime, thank you very much for listening. An extended broadcast today, lots of information. I'll try and put all of that out into a letter next week about what it is that we're going to do on the 15th of March. But in the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and stay safe. Thank you.